The rain over Port Charles came down in thin, cold sheets, the kind that seemed to whisper danger to anyone who bothered listening. It was still early morning when the first call hit the PCPD switchboard, but by the time Dante Falconeri walked into the squad room with a coffee he no longer wanted, he knew something was wrong.
Cops were whispering. Faces were pale. No one dared look him in the eye.
He set the coffee down slowly, watching as one rookie officer, Parker, shifted nervously, his hands trembling. Dante stepped closer, his instincts sharpening. "What happened?" he asked quietly.
Parker swallowed.
"Detective Falconeri, there's been an incident at Pentonville."
Dante froze. Pentonville? Where his son was?
Where Rocco had been locked away after that terrible chain of mistakes, bad influences, and a downward spiral that Dante blamed on himself every second of every day.
He steadied his breathing.
"What kind of incident?"
Parker's voice cracked. It's Rocco, sir. Your son."
There was a riot. He stopped, his lips quivering. Rocco didn't make it.
Dante didn't breathe. He didn't blink.
Reality simply evaporated. For a moment the room became a blur, voices melting together into a dull hum. He felt his legs weaken, his pulse drowning out every other sound. He grabbed the nearest desk, the metal edge digging into his palm. "No," Dante whispered.
"No.
You're wrong."
But Parker wasn't wrong.
2 minutes later, Jordan arrived with official documents. 2 guards had confirmed it.
The prison warden had already notified the mayor. Protocol was in motion.
Rocco Falconeri, his boy, his troubled, misunderstood son,
was dead.
Dante's knees finally buckled.
And Port Charles would never be the same again.
Olivia Falconeri's scream echoed through the entire Quartermain mansion. It began as a sharp gasp, escalated into a strangled sob, and then erupted into a wail so raw, so primal, that even Monica Quartermain rushed down the stairs to steady her before she collapsed. "Not my grandson," Olivia cried, clawing at the air as if trying to pull the truth away from her.
"Not Rocco.
Not my baby." Ned, who had been poring over ELQ finances in the living room, felt the news hit him like a brick to the chest.
He dropped to his knees beside her.
"How did it happen?" he whispered, though he already feared the answer. Dante stood in the mansion doorway, drenched from the rain, still in shock.
His lips trembled, but no sound came out.
Olivia looked at him with wide, pleading eyes.
"Tell me he's alive, Dante," she begged. "Tell me they made a mistake.
Tell me something I can survive." Dante grabbed her hands tightly, his voice breaking.
"Ma, he's gone."
Olivia collapsed against him, sobbing uncontrollably. And Dante held her, feeling the crushing truth sink deeper into his soul.
He had lost his son.
And somewhere deep inside him, a darker voice whispered, "You failed him." Some tragedies have a way of waking the sleeping. Lulu Spencer Falconeri had been in a long medical coma, her body kept alive but her mind trapped in darkness. Doctors had said there was little hope, but Dante had refused to let her go. He visited her often, whispering stories about Rocco, about life in Port Charles, about the things he still prayed she would one day wake up to see. But now all he had left was a devastating truth. And fate, cruel as ever, stirred something in Lulu that morning. Her eyes fluttered. Her fingers twitched. A nurse gasped, rushing to call a doctor. Within minutes, Lulu's eyelashes lifted, revealing tired but conscious eyes.
Her pulse accelerated.
Her lips parted, as if reaching for something, or someone, she couldn't see.
"Ah.
Rocco," she whispered hoarsely. "Where's my son?" The doctor's face paled. "Page Dante," he ordered. And so the universe twisted the knife deeper. Just as Dante lost his boy forever, Lulu awakened, asking for him. Pentonville was cold. The kind of cold that seeped into your bones and stayed there. Dante walked through the metal corridors with slow, heavy steps, each footfall echoing like a heartbeat in a tomb. A guard led him toward the infirmary, where a white sheet covered the form he dreaded to see.
"Take your time, detective," the guard said softly. But there was no time left. No more second chances.
Dante approached the table. His entire body trembled.
He pulled the sheet back. His breath shattered.
There lay Rocco, his son, still, pale, robbed of everything he could have been.
A bruise marred his cheek. Dried blood stained his shirt.
His curls, once messy with youthful stubbornness, now lay flat and lifeless.
Dante touched his cheek.
"Hey, buddy," he whispered, voice cracking. It's Dad. His tears fell onto Rocco's cold skin. I should have protected you, Dante choked. I should have been there. I failed you, son.
I'm so sorry. He laced his fingers through Rocco's.
You deserved better than this world gave you. For the first time in decades, Dante Falconeri sobbed openly, loudly, heartbreakingly. A father grieving a child he couldn't save. Jordan arrived hours later with updates. The riot wasn't random, she told Dante. It was orchestrated. Dante looked up, eyes red. Orchestrated.
His voice was ice. Jordan nodded grimly.
One inmate, a known hitman connected to a long-running crime network, targeted Rocco specifically.
Dante's heart dropped. Who ordered it? Jordan hesitated.
We're still investigating, but we have leads.
Dante's jaw clenched hard enough to ache. I want every name. Every file. Every camera recording.
I want to know who touched my child.
Jordan swallowed.
Dante, be careful. You're grieving.
I'm not asking as a father, Dante growled.
I'm asking as a cop.
But they both knew that wasn't true. This was personal now. Dante would burn down the world to avenge Rocco.
Sonny Corinthos was the first outside the family to hear the news. He stood in his kitchen, fists trembling, the memories of all the sons he had lost or nearly lost flashing before his eyes. That boy was family, Sonny whispered to Carly, who had rushed over after hearing from Michael. I should have protected him. I should have. You didn't do this, Sonny, Carly said carefully, placing a gentle hand on his arm.
But you can help. And Sonny's eyes darkened. I will, he promised.
Whoever killed Rocco won't walk away breathing. Anna Devane, hardened by decades of tragedy, felt a different kind of anger, cold, quiet, lethal. Find the puppet master behind this, she told Jordan. Before Sonny does something we can't undo. Laura Collins nearly collapsed when she learned the news. Rocco was her grandson as well, the child of her daughter Lulu, who had not yet been told. Dear God, she whispered. How do we tell Lulu that her son is gone the very day she wakes up? Charlotte Cassadine, hearing it at school, froze mid-step. She had loved Rocco once, in her own complicated, Cassadine-shaded way. And though she wouldn't say it aloud, her first thought was terrifying. Was this because of something Valentin did? Because with Cassadines, anything was possible. Dante walked into Lulu's hospital room hours later.
He wasn't ready. He would never be ready. Lulu looked at him with hopeful eyes.
Dante, what's going on? Where's Rocco? Why won't anyone tell me anything? He sat beside her, taking her hand with shaking fingers.
Lou, he said softly.
There's something I need to tell you. Her expression shifted, confusion twisting toward fear. What happened? Is Rocco hurt? Dante's throat tightened.
His voice broke.
He's gone. Lulu stared at him blankly, as if her brain refused to process the words.
Gone? Dead? Their son?
Dante, no. She shook her head, tears filling her eyes. You're lying.
He's okay. He has to be okay.
I just woke up. You said, you promised me. Dante pulled her into his arms.
And Lulu shattered.
Her screams echoed through General Hospital, raw and agonizing. Doctors rushed in.
Laura fell to her knees.
And Dante held Lulu, crying with her, breaking all over again. Days passed, but to Dante, time no longer existed. He wandered through the empty halls of his home, replaying every moment of Rocco's life.
His laughter. His rebellious smirk.
His promise to do better. His last words before being taken away.
I'll be okay, Dad. Just don't give up on me.
Dante pressed his hands to his face, trembling. I gave up too soon, he whispered into the darkness. I should have fought harder for you.
I failed you, son. I failed you.
At night he couldn't sleep. When he did, he dreamt of Rocco calling out to him from behind iron bars, reaching for him as flames rose. Every nightmare ended the same. Dante reaching back. But always too late. Jordan, Anna, and Sonny formed an unlikely alliance. Each wanted justice, or vengeance, for Rocco. The prison footage revealed the shocking truth. Rocco didn't die in the riot by accident.
He was cornered, held down,
executed by a hired inmate.
And the killer had muttered one sentence before stabbing him.
Message delivered.
But to whom? And why?
Jordan released the official report.
Someone had put out a hit on Rocco Falconeri. Dante's rage ignited like wildfire. "I want that inmate," he growled to Anna.
"Put me in a room with him."
Anna shook her head.
"Dante, you can't."
"I'm not asking." The fire in Dante's eyes sent a chill down her spine. Because Dante wasn't just grieving. He was transforming.
As the investigation deepened, a disturbing truth surfaced from old PCPD files.
Rocco had witnessed something months before his arrest. Something he was never meant to see. A meeting. A transaction.
A whispered threat involving a high-ranking figure in Port Charles. And Rocco, desperate for attention, for redemption, had told someone in prison that he knew things.
He had unknowingly signed his death warrant. Jordan looked Dante in the eyes.
Someone in power wanted Rocco silenced. Someone who believes your son talked.
Dante's jaw tightened.
So he wasn't killed because of who he was.
His voice trembled with fury.
But because of what he saw.
Jordan nodded slowly.
And now that someone is trying very hard to erase their tracks.
Sonny met Dante at the pier late at night.
The waves crashed violently, as if echoing Dante's rage. Sonny stepped closer. "Listen to me. I'm going to find the man who did this, Dante."
"No," Dante said quietly. "I am." Sonny frowned.
"You're not thinking straight."
"I lost my son."
"When have I ever been supposed to think straight after that?"
Sonny sighed.
"You take one step too far, and you'll ruin everything.
Your badge. Your life.
Lulu's recovery." Dante turned toward the dark water.
"I don't care." Sonny placed a hand on his shoulder.
"Then let me handle it."
Dante shrugged him off bitterly. "Your world helped put Rocco in danger," he snapped.
"Your enemies, your wars."
Sonny stiffened.
"Is that what you think?" "I don't know what to think," Dante said, voice thick with emotion. "All I know is my son is dead, and someone needs to answer for it." And with that, Dante walked away, leaving Sonny alone with a storm neither could control. Lulu, though still weak, forced herself to sit up in her hospital bed.
Laura tried to stop her.
"Sweetheart, you're barely awake. You need to rest." "No," Lulu said, tears streaming down her cheeks.
"I need to fight.
I won't let Rocco's death become another tragedy swept under the rug. Someone killed my son. And I will find them."
Laura placed a comforting hand on her cheek.
"We will, honey. All of us."
But Lulu shook her head. "No, Mom. I need to do this myself."
"I may have missed the last years of Rocco's life, but I won't miss the chance to get justice for him." Her voice, broken but determined, shocked even Laura. In that moment, Lulu Spencer felt something awaken inside her.
A fire. A purpose.
A need to uncover the truth no matter what it cost. And that made her dangerous. 3 weeks later, Anna finally uncovered the shocking truth. A single sealed file, buried deep within the Department of Corrections database, tied to a man with influence, money, and a long history of manipulation. Victor Cassadine. Even beyond the grave, Victor's shadow still tormented Port Charles. He had orchestrated dozens of contingencies, schemes set to trigger upon his death, causing chaos for years to come.
One of those plans?
Silencing anyone who witnessed his final illegal operations, including a teenage boy who had seen too much.
Rocco Falconeri.
Even dead, Victor Cassadine had reached out from the grave and taken a child. Anna punched the file cabinet in frustration. "This man destroys everyone."
Jordan sighed heavily.
"And now we're dealing with the aftermath." Dante, hearing the news, felt the world tilt.
"Victor," he whispered.
"I swear, if he wasn't already dead, I would've."
But he couldn't finish. His rage was too big for words.
The funeral was held on a clear, quiet day.
Too quiet. White flowers lined the church walls.
Lulu sat in a wheelchair, trembling with every breath. Dante stood beside her, holding her hand like a lifeline. Sonny sat in the front row, sunglasses covering the pain in his eyes. Olivia clung to Ned, shaking. Laura held back tears.
Charlotte sobbed into Valentin's chest.
Olivia clung to Ned, shaking.
Laura held back tears. Charlotte sobbed into Valentin's chest. Everyone had come. Except Rocco.
The coffin, small, unfairly small, stood at the altar. Dante stepped forward, staring at it as if expecting his son to rise from inside.
He placed his hand on the coffin.
"Rocco," he whispered, "I'm sorry."
He paused. But I promise you something. I will find everyone who hurt you. I will make them pay.
And I will never, ever, stop loving you.
Lulu cried so hard she could barely breathe.
And as the coffin was lowered into the ground, Dante broke all over again. The weight of regret crushing him, burying him alongside his son.
That night, Dante walked alone through Port Charles. He passed the pier, the police station, Pentonville's cold silhouette in the distance.
He stared upward, whispering to the stars. I should have been a better father. I should have kept you safe. You deserved a chance to grow, to live, to love.
I don't know how to forgive myself. I don't know how to breathe without you. He closed his eyes.
I miss you, son. More than you'll ever know.
A single tear slid down his cheek.
And I will carry this regret for the rest of my life. Then he turned and walked away, the night swallowing him whole.
Leaving behind a father broken, a mother grieving, a town in shock,
and a mystery that would haunt Port Charles for years to come.